Who are some of your inspirations when it comes to chefs or anything?
I mean, of course, you have the big one, Gordon Ramsay. Like, I really just love how
He yells at everyone.
Yeah, I like his personality because he's really passionate. Now, like the way he yells on people and stuff like that, that's like TV. That's not really gonna happen in real life.
He's so sweet to kids, though.
Huh?
He's so sweet to kids.
He is, because that's how you can tell how he really is. It's like a TV thing. You gotta like show your personality, whatnot.
But is he a good chef?
Yeah, he's a phenomenal chef. Like, he really knows what he's talking about. He really cares.
Because we see mixed things about that, like online. Some people are like, "Oh, he doesn't actually know what he's doing and stuff," and I don't know what to believe.
Well, the thing about cooking is there's 1,000 ways to cook everything. And that's why I always talk to people about your flavor profiles. So I can cook a lamb the way I want to cook it. It's going to be extremely spicier. It's going to have a lot more flavor, a lot more punch to it. You might not like it. You might just say, "Oh, that's a little hot." So that's why I talk to you about your flavor profile. And we're going to cook it the way you want. And I can cook it like 4 or 5 different ways out of the ways you just told me how you want it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the biggest thing when it comes to chefs and a lot of cooking is a lot of ego, a lot of like, my way is the best way to do it, and it's like, that's a way to do it. It's probably a top tier way to do it, but it's still a way to do it.
So then how do you feel about the shows that are critiquing people how to cook?
To me, the biggest thing when it comes about critiquing people how to cook is cooking times. So it's like, as long as it's warm, hot, and cooked correctly, that's the only thing I really ever cook over here about. Seasoning, and as long as it's not over seasoning, that's always a problem. But you want to go light on seasoning, I can understand that too, because some people actually just like the flavor of the raw food. Some people don't want all of that on it. There's just things you got to kind of talk to each person.
There has to be a bias, right? Like, especially with the judges. Like, I mean, I would have a bias as far as like what I like. I want it spicy. I want it sweeter. You know, all that. So
when it comes to that, it's almost like I don't know how to put it. I don't know, skateboarding maybe, where you're just looking for the actual technique. It's not really so more about the flair and what you're wearing, which is what we call it as the flavor. It's about the technique. The chicken was cooked crispy on the skin. It's sliced properly. The sauce has a perfect balance. The texture to that is right. And then you'll finally, at the very end, get to the flavor profile. And that's where the bias comes in. But the real part, if you're a proper judge, you're doing it on the merits of the technical side of it.
that actually makes a lot of sense. Is Salt Bay a bluff?
I've heard mixed things about Salt Bay. I have not had a chance to hear that, but I hear he does his own thing, and it's been working well for him.
It's just salt, bro. No, I think it's
the
in the
meat
meat,
cutting
right?
technique.
The meat cutting technique, the way he
The
lays
flair.
it down. But then he like pours a lot of that. I guess the meat juice, the butter, the oils back on it. So I don't know.
And again, with all that, when it comes to cooking, like, there's a lot of biases. There's a lot of people who just like, yo, this is the only way to cook a steak. This is the only way to do that. And I'm just like, if it makes them happy, it makes you happy, like you're happy.
I mean,
And that's
his
kind of how
resume
you
is
started
like,
too, is by having food make you happy.
So the only thing about steaks I'll probably say is I think reverse sear steak is like the only way to properly do a good like filet mignon. So
What is that? What does that
It means you go into the oven first for about like 280 degrees for about 20 minutes, and that'll get you a nice medium rare. And then from there, you get your skillet hot, and you just sear it on there and get the crisp to it. That way, it's cooked perfectly too. And then you butter bath it and everything like that. But I don't like to cook my steak all the way on it because I think it's like burning the food.
Well,